Amun, as one of the most significant deities in ancient Egyptian religion, was depicted in various forms that highlighted his attributes and significance. Here are the primary shapes and forms in which Amun was represented. Human form. 1. Human male figure. Description. Amun is often depicted as a man wearing a distinctive crown with two tall, straight plumes and sometimes a sun disk. He typically holds a scepter and an ankh, symbols of power and life, respectively. Significance. This form emphasizes Amun's role as a king of the gods and a central figure in the pantheon. Animal forms.
2 ram,
Description. Amun is also depicted as a ram or a man with a ram's head. The ram, particularly the species Ovis longips, which has large, curved horns, is associated with fertility and virility. Significance. The ram form underscores Amun's role as a god of fertility and his generative power. This form was especially prominent in his worship in Thebes and in Nubia. 3. Goose. Description. Less commonly, Amun was associated with the goose and could be depicted as such. The goose is another symbol of fertility and creation. Significance. This association is linked to Amun's creative aspects, as the goose was considered an important symbol of creation and life. Composite forms.
4. Amun-Ra,
Description. When merged with Ra, Amun was often depicted with a combination of attributes from both deities. This might include the ram's head with a sun disk and Uraeus, royal cobra, or a human figure with solar elements. Significance. The Amun-Ra depiction signifies the merging of Amun's hidden aspects with Ra's visible, life-giving power of the sun, creating a universal god who embodies both creation and hidden divinity. Iconographic elements. 5. Crown with plumes. Description. The tall, straight plumes on Amun's crown are one of his most recognizable attributes. Often, these plumes are combined with a sun disk when depicting Amun-Ra. Significance. The plumes signify his connection to the air and sky, while the sun disk symbolizes his role in creation and life. 6. Scepter and ankh. Description. In his human form, Amun often holds a scepter, symbol of authority, and an ankh, symbol of life. Significance. These items underscore his status as a king of the gods and a life-giving deity. Origins and rise to prominence. Early worship. Amun's origins can be traced back to the Old Kingdom, circa 2686 to 2181 BCE, when he was a relatively minor deity in Thebes. Initially, he was associated with the air and wind. The Middle Kingdom. During the Middle Kingdom, circa 2055 to 1650 BCE, Amun's worship began to gain prominence. The Theban rulers promoted Amun as their patron god, which helped elevate his status. The New Kingdom. Amun reached the height of his power during the New Kingdom, particularly during the 18th dynasty. He was merged with the sun god Ra, becoming Amun-Ra, the king of the gods. Attributes and iconography. Depiction. Amun is often depicted as a man wearing a crown with two tall plumes, and sometimes holding a scepter and an ankh. In some representations, he appears as a ram or a man with a ram's head, symbolizing fertility and virility. Symbols. The ram, the ostrich feather, and the scepter are commonly associated with Amun. His temples often featured hypostyle halls with massive columns. Temples and cult centers. Karnak Temple Complex. The most significant temple dedicated to Amun is the Karnak Temple in Thebes, modern-day Luxor. This vast complex was the center of Amun's worship and one of the most important religious sites in ancient Egypt. Luxor Temple. Another major temple dedicated to Amun is the Luxor Temple, located near Karnak. It was the site of the annual Opet festival, where Amun's statue was paraded from Karnak to Luxor. Religious significance. Amun-Ra. By merging with Ra, the sun god, Amun became a universal god who encompassed the aspects of both the hidden and the revealed. As Amun-Ra, he was worshipped as a creator god who brought life and sustained the world. Patron of pharaohs. Amun was considered the divine father of the pharaohs. He was believed to be involved in the conception of the king, and his divine favor was essential for the legitimacy and prosperity of the ruler. The Oracle of Amun. The Temple of Amun at the Siwa Oasis in the Western Desert was famous for its oracle. Pilgrims, including Alexander the Great, visited this site to seek the god's guidance. Influence and legacy. Political power. The priesthood of Amun gained substantial political power, especially during the New Kingdom. The high priests of Amun wielded significant influence over state affairs. Decline. Amun's prominence declined after the New Kingdom, particularly during the Amarna period when Pharaoh Akhenaten promoted the worship of the Aten, the sun disk, over traditional gods. However, Amun's worship was restored after Akhenaten's death. Enduring legacy. Amun continued to be venerated even into the Greco-Roman period. His worship spread beyond Egypt to Nubia and other parts of the ancient world. Amun's complex character as a hidden yet omnipresent deity, his association with royal power, and his fusion with Ra to form Amun-Ra reflect the intricate nature of ancient Egyptian theology and its evolution over time. The worship of Amun was a central aspect of ancient Egyptian religion, especially during the New Kingdom period. His cult was characterized by elaborate rituals, grand temples, and a powerful priesthood. Here's an in-depth look at how Amun was worshipped. Temples and cult centers. 1. Karnak Temple Complex. Location: Thebes, modern-day Luxor. Significance: the largest and most important temple dedicated to Amun. It served as the primary religious center for the worship of Amun-Ra. Structure: the complex includes a vast array of pylons, hypostyle halls, obelisks, and sanctuaries. The Great Hypostyle Hall, with its forest of massive columns, is one of the most famous features. 2. Luxor Temple. Location: Thebes, modern-day Luxor. Significance: another major temple dedicated to Amun, closely associated with the Karnak Temple. It was the site of the annual Opet festival. Structure: the temple features colossal statues, large courtyards, and grand colonnades. 3. Temple of Amun at Siwa Oasis. Location: Western Desert. Significance: known for its oracle, which played a significant role in ancient Egypt and attracted pilgrims, including Alexander the Great. Major festivals. 1. Opet Festival. Description: a grand annual festival where the statues of Amun, Mut, his consort, and Khonsu, their son, were paraded from Karnak to Luxor Temple. Rituals: the festival included processions, offerings, rituals to renew the king's divine mandate, and celebrations that lasted for several days. 2. The Beautiful Feast of the Valley. Description: another major festival where the statues of Amun and other gods were taken across the Nile from Karnak to the funerary temples on the West Bank. Rituals: the festival involved feasting, offerings, and commemorations of the deceased. Daily rituals. Priestly duties: the priests of Amun conducted daily rituals in his temples. This included the opening of the mouth ceremony to animate the statue of Amun, bathing, anointing, and dressing the statue, and offering food, drink, and incense. Temple offerings. Offerings were made to Amun multiple times a day. These offerings included food, drink, flowers, and incense. Rituals were often accompanied by hymns and prayers. The priesthood of Amun. High priests. The high priests of Amun, especially during the New Kingdom, held immense political and religious power. They managed the temple's wealth, lands, and resources. Hierarchy. The priesthood was highly organized, with various ranks and specialized roles, including high priests, second and third priests, prophets, and wab priests, purification priests. Political influence. The priesthood of Amun often wielded significant influence over the pharaohs and state affairs, particularly during periods of weak central authority. Influence and spread. Nubia. The worship of Amun spread to Nubia, modern-day Sudan, where he was merged with local deities and worshipped as Amun of Napata and later as Amun of Meroe. Temples in Nubia, such as those at Jebel Barkal, were major centers of Amun's worship. Greco-Roman period. Amun continued to be venerated during the Greco-Roman period, and his temples remained active centers of worship. His iconography and attributes influenced the depiction of gods in other cultures. Personal devotion, amulets and figurines. Ordinary Egyptians often wore amulets and kept figurines of Amun for protection and blessings. Prayers and hymns. Individuals offered prayers and composed hymns to seek Amun's favor and intervention in their lives. Household shrines. Small household shrines dedicated to Amun and other gods were common, allowing for personal worship outside of the temples. The worship of Amun was a multifaceted practice that played a crucial role in the religious, political, and cultural life of ancient Egypt. His temples, festivals, rituals, and priesthood formed the backbone of one of the most enduring religious traditions in human history.